Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot. And I know I usually do videos and I upload the videos and I share them all with you on Saturdays. But with this awesome new deck that I've been waiting nearly a year for, I cannot wait to open it. And I want to open it and I want to share it with you as I do it because it's really fun and I really enjoy it. And if you're like looking to see what this deck looks like, then this is absolutely the video for you. As you can see, maybe right there, I've got the actual address. Like I gotta post it over there so you can't see the actual address. But it says there, Mystic Madness Tarot, and it's labeled to me Amanda, which is Cosmic Crow Tarot, and my address is missing too, but Mystic Madness Tarot is one of the newest decks available from Kickstarter. These guys, two guys, I do not remember what the names are, they're probably right there on the deck when I open it, but they're the ones that created this deck. And if you are a fan of the Wizard of Oz and or Alice in Wonderland, then this absolutely is a deck you might want to know about if you don't know about it already, because it is the deck that combines the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. And I'm so excited to see this deck. I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to unbox it and I wanted to see it now so I can like get to working with it. So that's what we're going to do today, but I left it in the box for now because usually I just, I don't have the actual shipping box. The shipping box itself is really cool too, so that's why I kept it out. You can see there, let's turn it around right there. You can see the bottom of the box, or yeah, the bottom, like on the sides, it's got a little bunny there representing Alice in Wonderland and the White Rabbit, and you've got a feather up here, so that's a cool little embossing thing. And how cool is this little stamp? Like so much detail, and the moon behind everything. There's so much detail just in this shipping box alone. And so I was so excited when I found this, like where it was delivered the other day. I think it was delivered Saturday. I didn't find it till like Sunday. But beside the point, the box itself is so cool, and I'm so excited to dive into it. You can see a little star right there. There's the bunny. There's the feather. Yeah, that's the outside of the box. The thing that we usually throw away, but it's too cool. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I'm definitely going to keep this box. As someone that like gets a lot of tarot decks shipped in and stuff like that, I do like to keep the boxes because they make great little boxes when it comes time for giving gifts. Like, when you get something that's really hard to wrap because it's like not straight or anything like that, it's kind of wobbly, squishy, stuff like that. This, like, boxes like this, they're perfect for it. So when it comes time for Christmas and we're getting everything wrapped up and everything, these are what I like to have, and shoe boxes and everything like that. They're great for little things, so definitely going to keep in this box. I mean, it's cool nonetheless. I wish there was a way I knew how to get this little thing off so I could use it, because it says Mystic Madness Tarot Company right in it, and it's so pretty. It's so cool. So that is the box. And now we're going to get into the box, which I'm going to attempt to do on camera here. You can see a little tape right there, and I've got a pair of scissors. So I'm just going to stick the scissors in there and try to cut it open without damaging the box too much. There we go. I heard the little click right there. And that's apparently not the only place that it is stuck. You can see there's a lot of they put a lot of work in, to keep it protected and everything. So I've got a little one written down here that we're going to do. There's probably one on the other side. Yep, right there. So cut below the feather and get this baby out of this box. I almost stabbed myself there, but I didn't, so no worries on that. My cat does enough stabbing of me on her own, so that's enough of that. We've cut all the sides, and here it opens from the bottom. That was my problem, apparently. And there we have it. Special offer right on the top. Get 15% off your next find at the Etsy store. So that's a really cool little addition they gave you, a coupon to get something else from the Etsy store. I will definitely be checking that out because I have an addiction to indie decks. I have addiction to tarot decks. We all know this already. That's what I love. So, that's awesome. You can see the box right there, and I've got this little note in here to our backers, which I'm not going to read that on camera or anything, but that is cool that they gave us this little information sheet, and it's very much appreciated. Jerry and Matt. There, we have those names down there if you can see that. Jerry and Matt are the two guys that created this deck, and it's here. I don't know if my enthusiasm is coming out enough. Seriously, this is the Kickstarter deck that I have been the most excited about. I've pre-ordered or backed Kickstarter decks in the past. I've got a few that are backed right now, but you've combined the journey of in Oz and Wonderland. You've combined the Wizard of Oz with Alice in Wonderland, and no one's ever done that before. And the stories are so similar, and the girls in it, they had these incredible journeys, these incredible adventures. And to have a deck that is combined of the two, I'm just so excited about this. So we've got that deck itself. It's still in the cellophane thing. It's brand new. And we have the little information there from all the Kickstarter stuff. I'm going to kind of cover it up, but that was the information there. You don't need to see how much I paid for this deck. I don't even remember, and I don't want to remember. So we're going to get into it. This plastic, you know, always a little bit difficult to get open. I see that there is a glare there, so I'm going to attempt to fix that. It's not so bad now, so we should be fine. You can see it's a little bit there, but we'll be careful. You can see the deck there. I've made a little hole, and we're gonna get into this deck. So excited, so excited. Seriously, I was hoping this deck would come last month. Like, it was like a birthday present to myself, but the wait has been worth it. Like, making my birthday last until January. That's even more awesome. You know, there's always awesome times to get new gifts and new decks, and that's exactly what this is. And you can see the box there. You can see the side there. Ooh, look at the side. There's like a little keyhole. That is so cool. And you've got the back and the information on the back and everything. It says Mystic Madness Tarot, and you got their little QR code to scan and go to their website if you want to do that. You got the side over here, the number of what deck it is, because, you know, this is a Kickstarter, so there's only so many made, and it's number 468 out of maybe 500. I don't know exactly, but limited edition, that's what this one is. They do have like the regular editions too that are supposed to come out in a couple months, I believe. I read on their last email. But there you can see the magnetic opening there, and you open it. In Journey of Oz and Wonderland, there is the guidebook. Let's check out the guidebook really fast. Ooh, even the guidebook has the gilded edges. Yeah, that sounds right. The gilded edges. The book is colored and everything, but we're gonna go through. We're gonna flip through the deck, and we're gonna see what everything is. Just the box alone is incredible. I mean, I have a lot of tarot decks in my collection, and this box, it's so unique. Because a lot of times, like, the boxes, they're tuck boxes, or they're two-piece boxes, and this magnet thing, I'm just a huge fan of the magnets because I think it's so cool. You got the information right here. You got the time, or the what's written down here on the side. In a tome worn by time, take intertwine of Oz's golden roads and Wonderland's rhyme. Okay, we've got a rhyming thing there. Emerald towers gleam whilst mirrors beguile. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to read this and like keep it like under the camera, and it's kind of hard to see. Both wonderless lands search mile upon mile, mystic mile. So that is the first paragraph there, and I will not force you to listen to me try to read the rest of that. That will come later, maybe when I read it on my own. There we go. We got it out of the box. Set them right there, and there you can see the inside of it. Eat Me from Alice in Wonderland. That is really cool. I see the shadows are coming back. Yeah, I started this video like when the sun's going down, so the lighting is not perfect. No matter how I seem to move my light, that shadow stays there, so we're just gonna have to live with that shadow. We're gonna set the box aside anyways, because while the box is cool, that's not what you're here to see. That's not what I'm here to see. We're here to see the Oz and Wonderland deck, the Mystic Madness Tarot. See them right here. There are those gold edges. The texture quality and everything, they are absolutely fantastic. And just look at those backs. Those backs are beautiful as well. You've got the Cheshire Cat here and the Cheshire Cat here. You've got all the moon phases down here, moon, stars, everything. This deck, I haven't even looked at the illustrations yet, and it's awesome. It smells like a book. It smells like a new tarot deck and everything. Yes, I can't make you smell the smells, but I smelled it and I think it smells amazing. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. Okay, the full is first, and you even have the character names on here, so that's really cool as well. So in case you don't know exactly, you can see there it's Alice. She's got the white rabbit. She's leaping off into that rabbit hole and following her dreams, you know, finding interesting things, because life was boring on the upside world, so we're going to the underworld, or the underland, or Wonderland, or whatever you want to call it, you know, going down there and learning about it. So there is the Fool, and Alice being the Fool, and then we have the Mad Hatter as the magician. He was quite the magician, and look at all those symbols there. That is awesome. Like, I don't know if you can pick this up on the phone itself or on the video itself, but like everything is embossed in gold. Not only are the sides gold, the actual cards themselves are gold as well. So that is awesome, 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 awesome. The High Priestess is the White Queen, so we have that card right there. Then the Empress, you know, 3 of the major arcana. She's Ozma of Oz. Now we're getting into that Wizard of Oz thing. The first 3 cards here, very much Alice in Wonderland. But the Empress is Ozma of Oz. And if you don't know who Ozma is, that means you've only you've only watched the Wizard of Oz movie, you're missing out. I say this every time I share like the Wizard of Oz, like I have the Shadows of Oz. There are at least, I think there's 14 books based on the Wizard of Oz, like that L. Frank Baum wrote after the first one that was made into a movie. And Ozma is a huge key player in those books. So definitely check out those books. I highly recommend them. They are fantastic. So there's the Empress, and then we have the wizard himself as the Emperor. He's got the Emerald City on his head there. So awesome illustration. You can tell this is somewhat like computer generated art, but at the same time they created as well. And I think that's awesome. They blended the two. Very temperance kind of energy, you know, taking old and applying it with new, taking your own talents and applying them with something else. So it's really awesome. Blue Caterpillar is the Hierophant. Awesome. I mean, I just keep saying awesome because I think this deck is so cool. The Lovers is Dorothy and Scarecrow. So that's a really interesting take on the Lovers, because you never really saw the Scarecrow as Dorothy's lover, but you know, their friendship, their compatibility, their what's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderation, something like that. You know, that they were friends. So friends first, that kind of reminds us that the best lovers that we can have, the best relationships we can have, can start with friends. So that's a beautiful illustration there. Kind of sparkles a little bit too. So that is awesome. The Chariot are the flying monkeys. So that's cool. Be your own chariot, have your own wings. Don't let an evil witch tell you what to do or anything like that and make you do her bidding. So there's the Chariot. And we have Strength as the Cowardly Lion, which is a perfect fix because he had that strength all along. He had that bravery. He had that strength. But Dorothy had to bring it out of him. So you've got the heart there. You know, he had his heart because he needed, no, well, it was the Tin Man that needed the heart. The lion needed the courage, but still, you know, he has that heart. He has kindness and compassion, and that's goes a lot with strength as well. And then we have the Hermit is the Dormouse. You know, he doesn't like to leave his little castle or his little kingdom of a teapot. So he's in there, and you can see him right there with the little mushrooms and how small he is and everything. But awesome little depiction of the Hermit, because of all the characters, you know, he kind of is the most hermity. He's the one that wanted to stay in his teapot and not really join the tea party. I love how this goes back and forth between the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, because it's just really unique and really fun. Here's the Wizard of Oz, here is Alice in Wonderland. They are so intertwined, they go perfectly together, and this is such a genius idea for a tarot deck. Wheel of Fortune is the White Rabbit, you know, always running off to something, always doing something like for the Queen or anything like that. He's always in a rush. And a lot of times when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune energy, you know, sometimes you have to begin that next chapter. You have to jump into that next chapter, jump down that rabbit hole to begin again, or that opportunity might fly away. See the Wheel of Fortune, the White Rabbit. The King of Hearts as Justice, you know, he was the one telling everybody not to get their heads cut off, not to do that kind of thing. He was the kind and compassionate one versus the Queen of Hearts. Cool illustration there of like the dragons and everything in the background. The Hanged Man is the Tin Woodsman. Very interesting story about the Tin Woodman. If you're gonna read the books, the Wizard of Oz books, he's definitely a very powerful character, a very unique and original character that he's got a lot to share if you're willing to read those books. So there's the Hanged Man. And Death is my favorite character of the Wizard of Oz. Seriously, when I was a little kid and I watched it for the first time, I didn't want to be Dorothy. I wanted to be the Wicked Witch. I wanted to have those flying monkeys and fly around on a broom. I never necessarily wanted to be evil, but still, she was the coolest character, and I was actually sad that she got water poured onto her and she melted. But if you know the Broadway show Wicked, you'll know why she's like that, and you'll like learn her backstory, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm an avid reader, not only tarot cards but actual books too. And Wicked, it's a book as well as a Broadway show, and it's just really, really good. So there's Death and the Wicked Witch of the West. Aunt Em is Temperance. That illustration there, you know, she's kind and compassionate. Dorothy wanted to go back to her. She plays another part in the other books, The Wizard of Oz. Again, I'm just going to keep plugging that you need to read the Wizard of Oz books because they're really good. I have read the Alice in Wonderland books too. They're slightly complicated to read. They're a little bit confusing and they're kind of everywhere, so definitely not as entertaining personally as the Wizard of Oz was, but that's just my opinion. The Devil is the Queen of Hearts, which makes a lot of sense because, like we said, Justice with the King of Hearts, he was the kind and compassionate one. Where the Queen of Hearts, not that kind and compassionate. There, she's got her heart hanging out, like she's taking it out. It's liquid. It's in a bottle. Like maybe she needs some kind of like emotional happiness in order to make her heart whole and complete. You got that little gold thing and that little gold heart right there on her chest as well. So I mean, the illustrations, the more you look at them, the more incredible they become, because you can see these little like little gold inserts in there that I've never seen in another deck. I seriously, I'm in love with this deck. It's awesome. There, the tower is the tornado, and of course, when it comes to the Wizard of Oz, I mean, even in Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts was definitely like a devil and a tower situation, because, you know, she wanted to go off with her head. But the real catastrophe came from the tower, or the tornado in the Wizard of Oz, because that's how she ended up in Oz in the first place. And just, isn't that just a gorgeous illustration of a tornado? It's definitely the prettiest and most not terrifying tornado that I've ever seen. So awesome illustration there. I don't know if you can tell from the video that the lightning strikes coming out of it, they're also inlaid in gold, and you have gold out throughout the entire picture, like little dots of it. It's seriously, I'm so crazy in love with this deck. It's awesome. The star is Glinda the Good Witch from the Wizard of Oz. Wonderful character. You know, she's kind of the Wicked Witch, Elphaba, that was her name. The Wicked Witch is kind of like our counterpart, like her antagonist and stuff like that, but they went to school together, they were good friends. I'm ruining things. So Star, Glinda the Good Witch, you've got her there, telling her, Dorothy, at the end, that she's had the power with her all along. Yeah, that was kind of mean of her if you think about it, because she could have told her that in the beginning, but then she wouldn't have had the story. You wouldn't have had the whole story. She wouldn't have met her friends or anything like that. So maybe that was the point. The moon is the Cheshire Cat, one of the best characters of the Alice in Wonderland. He's the most fun and most entertaining, and this might be my favorite illustration of the moon every time. Like, seriously, like, look at that illustration. Just look at the purples, the blues, the magic of it, and the moon behind it. You know, being whimsical, being crazy, embracing that inner weirdo, and trusting yourself. You know, not letting that crisis of faith or that crisis of doubt make you not believe in your dreams. That's the moon. You have the sun, or the Garden of Lucky Flowers, or Lively Flowers. So these are the characters that Alice first meets, like when she goes in. I think that was in the Disney's version of Alice in Wonderland, where they talk to her and everything. So that's kind of positivity and happiness, even if you're not in the best situation. You know, flowers stuck in the ground, not able to get out of the ground or to move, and they're very much just still happy and enjoying the sunlight. Then we have the Jabberwocky as Judgment. Beautiful, wonderful character of Alice in Wonderland. You know, everybody thought he was evil, but he really wasn't. So he's got that beautiful collar coming out of him. You can see like the illustration, the grass, the trees, and everything. Beautiful illustration. And then to complete the major arcana, we have the world. And the world is depicted as the looking glass, which is the world. I think it's the second Alice in Wonderland, but she walks through the glass, and that's how she finds Wonderland. So that's a perfect depiction of the world, you know, taking that step and going into your power, going into that special place where you see in your mind's eye and achieving it. From the Fool to the world, there's Alice as she begins, and Alice as she has control and go into her success in her world whenever she wants. And then apparently there's extra cards here, because we have 22 is the Messenger, and it's the Royal Footman. The Hungry Tiger is the Empath, so that is 23 of this deck, and you can see that there. It's beautiful illustration. Metamorphosis, oh wow, look at that illustration, how awesome that illustration is. The colors, the butterfly, and everything. There is 24 of the blue butterfly. Blue butterfly, I believe, is the caterpillar after he metamorphosizes into his cocoon and comes out. You know, that caterpillar turns into a butterfly. The witch is Dorothy Gale, and you have that illustration there of 25. And then we get to the minor arcana. So far so good. We're definitely going to check out the minor arcana too, but I wish you could feel this deck. I wish you could like hold this deck in your hand. It's amazing, and it smells really cool too. So there's that. Move on to the minor arcana now. And at first we have the Suit of Wands, and there is Glinda's wand herself. Well, yeah, her personal wand. You have the Ace of Wands there. The Two of Wands is the enchanted forest from the Wizard of Oz, and how perfect an interpretation of the Two of Wands to me. Because to me, the Two of Wands has always been the should I stay or should I go card. And you can see there, if you look further into it, there's two paths. And so Dorothy had to make that choice. She first had to make the choice to make the trip in the first place. And then she has to make the choice of which way to go. And so you have that path, you have that winding path, and it's just awesome. Such a perfect interpretation of the Two of Wands. The Three of Wands is Alice's trip through the Chest Valley. You have that illustration there. So it's kind of like Dorothy and Alice went together, or they can be interchangeable. And the Yellow Brick Road, led here. She had the choices. She made the choice to follow her dreams. And now, she's playing her part. She's playing the character she needs to be and, becoming her true self and following her passion. The Three of Wands is like my favorite card in the tarot, because when you allow yourself to follow your passion and make the choice to be true to who you are, you inspire others to do the same. And I think that's such a beautiful message. So there's the Three of Wands. The Four of Wands are the Munchkin country, and how cute are those little munchkins, and the castle and everything. Beautiful illustration. Five of Wands, you can see the flamingos there fighting with each other. They all need to just fly free instead of letting the Alice and the Queen and everything use them as croquet croquet bats or something like that. I don't know, but the Five of Wands, there is the croquet with the Queen. Definitely a scary time. That's when I think Alice got told that she was going to have her head chopped off or something like that. So there's the Five of Wands. I really do appreciate the fact that they've taken the time to tell us what these illustrations are. So many decks out there, it's like, here's this character, here's this character. They're playing this part of the minor arcana. They're playing this character of the trumps and the major arcana. But we're not going to tell you who these characters are. And right here, we have every single card. Dorothy Kale is here. Croquet with the Queen is here. It's this, the story. It's exactly the part of the story. It's they read the books, they know the stories, and there's so much work and so much detail and so much love that has gone into this deck, and you can just feel it as you're looking at it, and feel it when you're looking through it, looking at it through while you're watching the video. Six of Wands is Dorothy's triumph. You can see that gorgeous illustration, and she almost looks like Judy Garland, the character that played the original Dorothy Gale in the 1939 movie. Like, you can actually see her in that illustration. So beautiful illustration, makes complete sense for the Six of Wands. Here is the Seven of Wands, when Alice had to defend herself after the tiny people when she ate whatever she was, and it told her to eat it, so she ate it and she became really tall. So you have that illustration. The Eight of Wands is the Looking Glass Railway. Okay, I have only read the original Alice in Wonderland book, so I don't think I met the Looking Glass Railway, but I can imagine where it goes. And I'm gonna end up reading this book because I want to study the book, the deck, a little bit more. So you have the Looking Glass Railway right there of the Eight of Wands. Life moving quickly, moving more moving more quickly, and energy moving quickly, because you're following your passion. You're willing to defend your passion, because your passion makes you bigger, your passion makes you stronger, your passion makes you more passionate about life. So that Seven of Wands, defending what you're passionate about against people that don't believe you. The Eight of Wands is when once you defend it, life starts moving more quickly. The Eight of Wands, or the Nine of Wands, that was the Eight of Wands. So then we're on the Nine of Wands. You can see there, you've had those haters in the past. You've had the ones that didn't believe in your past. That was the obstacle you faced with the Seven. So the Nine of Wands is learning from those past, knowing that you're not always going to have to look over your shoulder. And that is the White Knight right there. Bill the Lizard is the Ten of Wands, and I actually have an Alice in Wonderland. I think it's called Tarot in Wonderland. Yeah, I have that deck, and I believe Bill the Lizard is the character. No, it's a groundhog in that one. But Bill the Lizard, he was the one that everybody went to in Alice in Wonderland that always, he was the handyman for people. So awesome illustration of that. I don't know if you can see that there. I see the shine right there of the gold that's on this illustration. I mean, even the wood, the branches that he has, they're gold as well. Scraps the Patchwork Girl is the Page of Wands. In the Shadow of Oz deck I have, she is actually the Queen of Wands. Very awesome. They've included her, and I see here the pumpkin head, he's in it too. Or should I say she? Again, you have to read the books of the Wizard of Oz in order to figure that stuff out. She's very much a character in the Wizard of Oz books. Beautiful illustration, and I love the fact that she's the Page of Wands, because it makes so much sense to that story. Knight of Wands is Jack Pumpkinhead. Again, it's very much Wizard of Oz. but you have to read the books in order to know who this character is. So you got that illustration there as he's going off into his journey. Queen of Wands is right there. Belina the hen, that's I think she was met in the Return to Oz. That was a movie in the 80s, but she's very much a part of the books as well. She's awesome. I think she's a perfect interpretation of the Queen of Wands there. And the King of Wands is Prince Inga. He must be Alice in Wonderland, I think, because I don't remember him from The Wizard of Oz, but still, he looks feisty. He looks like he's traveled the world, and he has a lot of stories to show, which is, you can see there he's in a hang glider and everything. So yeah, he's a passionate person that follows his passion and really leads. The Ace of Cups is the Drink Me potion from the Alice in Wonderland, the Drink Me vial. Beautiful illustration. I love the colors of that. That is the most awesome potion bottle I've ever seen. The Two of Cups is there is Tweedledee and Tweedledum, or they have it as Tweedledum and Tweedledee. So however you want to pronounce it, you've got them right there. Those two fun characters we meet in Alice in Wonderland. Three of Cups is the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So that's a time of party and celebration, even if everybody was a little bit mad because they, Mad Hatters in the past, like when they actually made pens in it or made hats and everything, they put a lot of mercury in it, so they did go a little bit mentally mad or mentally crazy. So there's the Three of Cups. The Four of Cups is Tip's discovery. His green socks kind of make me think, and green hair makes me think he lives in the Emerald City. So it's very much Wizard of Oz, I believe. And we have the Mock Turtle, which is from Alice in Wonderland, as the Five of Cups, and he is a little woe is me, down on his dump, down on his luck and down in the dumps kind of guy. But his illustration is beautiful nonetheless. So this is still maybe not a positive card, but still a card that I think is beautiful. And the Five of Cups, you can see there's a cup there, and that's a cup there, very much still available if he were able to turn around, or he chose to turn around, even though he's just focused on the sadness and what's left behind, which is very much the energy of the Five of Cups. The Six of Cups is the Lobster Quadrille, and you have the illustration right there. And again, who knew lobsters could be so pretty? This is an awesome illustration. I love that. Seven of Cups is the Gnome King's ornaments. Gnome King is from the Wizard of Oz. So you have that illustration right there of all his little trinkets that he was able to collect. He had a belt of some sort, if I remember, that could make people into trinkets and everything. So that's an awesome illustration. And we have the Eight of Cups, leaving behind what no longer emotionally fulfills you. And that is very much from the Wizard of Oz movie, that sepia color in the background. She's making the choice to leave it behind. If you watch that movie, she wanted to leave in the first place. She and Toto weren't appreciated, so she was going to run away. Then she meets the magician, who was like a magician or a wizard in her world, making a carnival, part of a carnival. So that's an awesome illustration right there. That's a wish upon a star, as it says on the bottom. Next, we have the Wish card of the tarot, and it is the Wizard's Alkalies. I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but you can see there, it's the guy that has all the stuff to give to the people that came to see him and everything. So he has all the stuff he needs to succeed and to make all of his wishes come true and make other people's wishes come true. So I love that illustration. Ten of Cups is the Yellow Brick Road, and it shows the happy family that is Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion up there with Toto, I think, right there. The colors, I can't get over how beautifully done this deck is. It's definitely in my top 5 now, maybe my top 3. I'm just in love with these illustrations and the sparkle and everything that comes with it. Button Bright is the Page of Cups. I believe he is from Wizard of Oz. He might be from Alice in Wonderland. The March Hare, most definitely Alice in Wonderland. You have him as the Knight of Cups. He was very loving and kind compared to Mad Hatter, and yeah, I've always had this kind of belief that the Mad Hatter and the March Hare were actually husbands, or at least together, because they were always together. So that's awesome illustration of the March Hare. The Glass Cat is the Queen of Cups, another character from the Wizard of Oz. So the Queen of Cups, or the Glass Cat, from I remember, she didn't really care for anybody else, whereas the Queen of Cups in the tarot was very much kind and compassionate, cares about everybody more than she cares about herself. So that's an interesting take on it. I might have to go back and reread the books to find the connection that the Queen of Cups and the Glass Cat actually have, but beautiful illustration nonetheless. King of Cups is King Rinkatink, and you have that illustration right there. And we're to the sword suit now. We have the Ace of Swords, most gorgeous sword I've ever seen in my life, and it's called the Vorpal sword. I think this is from Alice in Wonderland. Tugly Wood must be from Alice in Wonderland as well, because it's some creepy version of the Cheshire Cat, but he's hanging out, he's listening to his inner mind, and that's very much the Two of Swords. Three of Swords is the Tin Woodsman's heart. Now, remember when I was talking about the Tin Woodsman earlier, I said he does have a huge story to tell. He's in those books. He has this like backstory that you don't learn any about it when you're just watching the movie. So there's a reason that the illustration looks like this. There's a reason the heart looks like this. So checking those books out, learning his story, it's definitely fulfilling. A lot of times, like the Three of Swords, that's the card of heartbreak and betrayal. But what can we create from that pain? That's how I like to see the Three of Swords. And they created this awesome illustration for the Tin Woodsman because they read their story. Four of Swords is the Red King, and you can see there he's resting and reflecting, so he knows what to do moving forward. The Five of Swords is the Lion and the Unicorn, victor or victim card of the tarot, and it's like, which one's going to win? How do you see yourself? That's why this is one of my favorite cards, because it poses that question. Are you the victim of your story, or are you the victor? If you're telling yourself that you're the victim of your story, then you're going to continue being the victim. But if you change that mindset, there's that five and the suit of the mind. If you change that mindset, you might start seeing yourself as the victor, and the universe is going to help you become a victor. The Six of the Six of Swords is up next, and it's wool and water, and you have the sheep queen, or the sheep that own the shop. She's moving on to happier and more peaceful times. Seven of Swords is the walrus and the carpenter. Interesting story of the Wizard of Oz. Those poor little clams. Yeah, that's definitely a sad and somber story, but awesome illustration, everything of the walrus and everything in the illustration right there. We have the Eight of Swords as the king of the forest, the lion himself from the Wizard of Oz, and he feels trapped in that forest. Like, this is the card of feeling like a prisoner to your mind, and his mind is the one that was telling him he was afraid of everything and he wasn't the king. So finding that strength to be the king makes him the king of his forest, and he's not a prisoner anymore. The Wheelers, the Nine of Swords. Okay, this makes me, I'm so excited this illustration is in here, because this is from The Return to Oz, the second book of The Wizard of Oz. And when I was a kid, I watched that movie. I was a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz when I was like 3 or 4. So when I found out that The Return to Oz existed, I probably watched it when I was like maybe 5 or 6. When I watched that movie and I saw these people, I freaked out, and I refused to watch any 80s movie ever again until recently when I watched The Labyrinth. I'm an adult, I can watch horror movies. The Devil's Rejects is like my favorite movie of all time, but it was these creepy dudes with their hands and legs as wheels that just freaked me out to no end. So that's really cool that it's the Nine of Swords, and the fact that it's the Nine of Swords, the things that will keep you up awake at night fearing it. Holy cow, did these guys keep me awake at night and make me fear. So kudos to Matt and Jerry for making this deck and making these guys the Nine of Swords, because that's like, hey, that relates to me so much. I love that. The Ten of Swords is the destruction of the Wicked Witch of the East. Yeah, okay. The house falling on her. I was like, who's the Wicked Witch of the East? Yes, Wizard of Oz, house falling on the Wicked Witch of the East. Definitely, the house fell on her. She's definitely feeling like everything's against her and she wants to give up and die. I think, yeah, she actually did. So, kind of makes sense for the Ten of Swords, and I love that little connection to the Wicked Witch of the East, because, that's how Dorothy got on the Wicked Witch of the West's bad side, because that was the Wicked Witch's sister. So we have that illustration there of the Ten of Swords. So knowing the story of the Wizard of Oz, knowing the story of Alice in Wonderland is going to help you so much with reading this deck. But the illustrations themselves, they really do speak for themselves, and they're so pretty. Page of Swords is the Griffin. You have that illustration right there. Then TikTok is the Knight of Swords, always helping Dorothy once she wound him up, because he was in a little case and a little rock or something like that, so she got him out so he could help her deal with those awful little wheelers right there. So awesome illustration of TikTok right there. He looks so powerful. The Red Queen is the Queen of Swords. No kindness and compassion in her heart whatsoever, slightly evil, but very logical. Off with their heads, she doesn't have to deal with them anymore. And here's the Gnat as the Knight of Swords. I'm going to assume he's a very logical character. I'm not sure if he's Alice in Wonderland, or I'm 99% sure he's Alice in Wonderland because I don't remember him in The Wizard of Oz. But still, awesome illustration. Who knew a bug, a fly, could be that cool looking, or that a gnat could be that interesting looking. Silver slippers are the ace of pentacles, as we begin the suit of pentacles. And if you've read the books and you've watched the story a little bit of Wizard of Oz, I keep coming back to this. Read the books. The silver slippers, they actually were the ruby red slippers. Silver slippers came first. That's how they were written, but they just didn't look as pretty on the big screen as the ruby red slippers. That's kind of a little nod right here to the ruby. But that illustration, oh, those shoes are so pretty. And the two of pentacles is the mushroom. You know, balancing the craziness, wanting to eat the mushroom, and with wanting what you want to do as well. So that's a cool illustration of the mushroom and the two of pentacles. Three of pentacles is Dorothy's rescue, so her friends working together to save her. That is an awesome illustration right there. Four of pentacles is the wicked witch's possessions, all the things that she had collected, perhaps including even the flying monkeys. So this illustration of that Wicked Witch of the West, gorgeous, gorgeous illustration. Humpty Dumpty is the Five of Pentacles, down on his luck because he fell off of the tower or what he was on, the wall. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. There we go. I got to that saying. So we've got the Five of Pentacles there, down on his luck. But, he can turn his life better. They're around for the better. That's the change and transformation number. So believing in himself and just making sure that mindset is correct and help him change his financial situation. The Six of Pentacles is the White King's plum cake. Sharing is caring, and he's very much ready to share his plum cake with the world. The Aunt M's garden is the Seven of Pentacles. Having patience to make that garden what it is. And you can see there Aunt M is no longer in Kansas. So where is this garden? If you read the books, you'll find out. Eight of Pentacles is next, and it's the Duchess's cook, and she's very much hard at work making all that food for the Duchess, even though the Duchess, if I remember correctly in the Alice in Wonderland books, she was very mean. She was throwing things. I think she ended up throwing her baby. So the Duchess's cook was very hard at work and was not treated fairly, and a lot of times when we're hard at work, we're not really treated fairly either. The Nine of Pentacles is Queen Alice. So that's when Alice becomes queen, when Alice becomes a power, reminding us that we can be successful on our own if we keep going, we work hard, and we have patience with the process. We can become successful leaders, successful individuals that can purchase whatever we want. And then 10 of Pentacles, not the happy generations of families, ancestors, and past lives and all that, is the Emerald City, and you have all the hot air balloons and everything there, showing that the people that have left can come back, that the Emerald City is home to many families, many lives, many generations of people, and it's just gorgeous, gorgeous illustration. Toto is the Page of Pentacles. Look how awesome Toto looks right there. I love his little collar and everything. He's awesome. Shaggy Man is the Knight of Pentacles. Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. I do not know, but still, beautiful illustration nonetheless. He's got his horseshoe right there, so he has luck on his side as he's soldiering on, doing all the boring and mundane work in order to find success. The Duchess is the Queen of Pentacles. She was the one I was talking about that would throw things, and it turns out, I remember now because I see the pig right there, that the baby was never actually a baby, it was actually a pig. So that's an awesome illustration of the Duchess right there. And the Gnome King is the King of Pentacles, and you have him right there as that illustration, very grounded and very focused, but very strong and capable at the same time. So that is the Mystic Madness Tarot. There you have the golden edges again, the backgrounds and everything. I can't get over how absolutely gorgeous this deck is. You got the guidebook there, very thick, golded edges as well. Meanings of all the cards, so it'll probably tell you in there what part they play in the books and in the stories and the movies and all that. So awesome, awesome, awesome deck. If you want a reading with this deck, please by all means comment on this video. Message me on any of the socials or book one directly from my website, because I am so ready to start working with this deck. I love it. I can't form the words to say how freaking excited I am about having this deck. I waited almost a year for it. It's definitely worth the wait. I hope you enjoyed the video. You see there, I'm so excited about this. Follow me on the socials. You can see this video or this deck in my videos or in my socials every once in a while, because I like to do them in turn, like give every deck a fair chance. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.